Well, the story that I want to share happened when I was at university many years ago, and I was to write an English exam. And I have to preface this with that I am not a fast reader. I'm a good studier and I'm a smart student, but I'm not a fast reader. And so I was not able to get through all the reading material that I needed for this exam. And I got into the exam. It was a 3-hour exam, and there were 3 questions, 3 essay questions. The first one was on a book that I'd only read half of. I had to have Nicole's notes for the other half. The second one was on a play that I had written an essay on but hadn't done particularly well on. And the third one was a line from a poem that I didn't recognize. It wasn't in our class list. And I was required to give the name of the author and the title of the poem and the context of the line to the whole poem and write an hour on that. Well, I looked at these 3 questions and I panicked. And I remembered that a friend of mine had said, well, in order to get things going, sometimes it helps just get your hand moving. And I knew that my small s self couldn't do anything in this case. So I trusted that all that is known to the divine mind, the one mind that governs the universe, I have access to. So I started with the play that I had done poorly on and got my hand moving, and my pen just wrote for an hour. And after an hour I put my pen down and I thought, okay, God, I need help on the next one. And I did the same thing with the book that I had read only half of. And again, I wrote for an hour, leaving the most challenging one till the last. The line from the poem that we hadn't covered in class. And I found myself doing the same thing, and I actually wrote, the title of this poem is, and when I was writing is, I didn't know. But I saw it come across my field of my vision, Ode to a Nightingale by John Keats. And then I proceeded to write for a full hour on how that line fit into the context of the poem. I wrote for the entire 3 hours, and when I got my final grades back in the mail a few weeks later, I didn't get the mark on that test, but whatever I did on that test was good enough to raise my average a full letter grade. So to me, that was a demonstration that we all have access to what that divine mind has if we get ourselves out of the way.